Want to introduce yourself to my friends here?
My name is Mike Dunston, doing a Luther Vandross Marvin Gaye tribute tonight. And,
Being interviewed by Dennis Simmons. My first question off the back, I know you got to get ready here. When did you start singing? What age did you start singing?
Professionally at 14, 1969 to be exact.
69.
Absolutely.
So what was so memorable about the 69 first time singing? What do you remember about that first moment?
The first what I remember mostly is that it was for this big star who grew up went to my high school. His name was Jeffrey Osborne, and he couldn't do the gig. So the band Nakopanda that was in my neighborhood.
What was your neighborhood, real quick?
Providence, Rhode Island. Providence, which is in the USA, called P-Town, but Providence, Rhode Island, that's where I grew up.
Okay.
I was born in North Carolina.
Okay.
Grew up in Providence, Rhode Island. And this band had seen me singing like the street corner harmony and kind of snatched me off the street and asked me to join their group. And the purpose was, there was a wedding coming up. It was Jeffrey Osborne's cousin's wedding, getting married, and it was my first foray into singing professionally. Up until that point, I'd been singing in church and on the street corner with street corner harmony guys, doing that kind of deal. I joined this band, did the first gig. The first gig I did, it was that wedding that afternoon, and then that evening, I played at Rocky Point, which is a park, like an amusement park. So I had 2 gigs my first day. Now,
what was the transition from singing in a church and then singing your first gig? I'm assuming you were nervous, right?
I was nervous.
So what was that transition? Why were you nervous when you were singing in church and then that transition to singing
in church? It was more of a freedom. I sang solos in front of a bunch of adults. So at 10 years old, I'm standing in front of people that were like seasoned gospel singers, and I was like put on a pedestal as a guy that could that could sing. My career started the same week as Michael Jackson's career started. The week his career, when he got discovered by Motown, I got discovered by these cats that went to Brown University. So my repertoire was Michael Jackson and Stevie Wonder. The wedding song was "I'll Be There" by Michael Jackson. I grabbed holding onto the microphone stand so tight that I thought I left my hand points in it. That's how nervous I was. And I can also remember leaving the gig, and one of the guys in the crowd said, "Man, you're a great singer, kid." He said, "When you get your choreography together, you're gonna be killing." Now, choreography for me at 14 was a big word. I had no idea what he meant. But what he meant was when you sing and say things like, "Well, you're gonna be with me," all this kind of gesturing and stuff. It's called choreography. And he said, "When I get that together, I'll be even better."
You just educated me, because I thought choreography you were referring to dancing and whatnot. I said, but yeah, the mannerisms.
Vocal choreography with the mannerisms and all that kind of stuff. The point of it was. I learned that over time, but the time he mentioned it to me, I had no idea what he was talking about. But it came with experience. And that's how I started. I started singing every weekend at Brown University in Providence at Alumni Hall. At 14, I never went to my prom. I sang at it. My band played at my senior and my junior prom, and all the other proms around Providence. We were the hot band. Nakopanda, which means I love you, Swahili.
Good stuff. How many songs do you know off the top of your head?
Do I know?
Yeah.
Man, because I couldn't.
Do you ever forget a word? Like, oh my gosh, I forgot the word, I'm just going to improvise.
Sure. The thing about forgetting a word is, it depends on how much you review. If you review stuff like I'm doing right now for this thing, everything's pretty as close to you. But if someone calls something out of blue, like I haven't done it in like 20 years, then it becomes a little bit of an issue because your mind's not like a computer, even though it is. But I have like thousands of songs before the iPad was ever invented, where cats are using iPads and checking the lyrics off the iPads and singing that way. And you'll see a lot of singers around town doing that, and I stay away from that.
Is there a song that's very difficult for you? Like extreme, I don't want to sing the song here.
Difficult, like singing wise,
or tone.
If I've learned it, it's okay. I haven't run into the song. I haven't been able to learn it yet. So that's a challenge.
Now the genre that you sing, the style that you sing, when you originally started in '69, has that changed? Has your style changed with the time, or is it? I've seen you sing. I just came out of an audition with this man. Did amazing. The gestures, the choreography, the smiles, the joke you had in the room. down packed, laughing, right? So to get from 69 to here, was it the same mannerism, style of singing, or did you have to change?
It was a love of doing R&B music. So I'm an R&B singer. So I'm basically doing R&B music from the time I started singing up to now. And I just more or less started leaning towards different roots in music, such as jazz. And when I crossed the border here in 75, I got into reggae. So I was introduced to Bob Marley, which was, I had never heard about any reggae. Matter of fact, I was rehearsing in Hamilton in a reggae club, and the way we paid for our rehearsal was we had to play on the weekend. And that's when I first heard reggae music. That was 1975. And Bob Marley was just hitting then. And I remember being on the road, and the drummer who was from Barbados, because my first two bands in this town were Bajan bands, and the drummer would play Bob Marley on the road all the time, constantly. I'm like, what is this music? These guys from Barbados, why is he listening to Jamaican music all the time? So after a while, man, he played so much that I just like, it drew me. And we also started playing live here at South and Rasta Man Vibration from that album. Like, that was part of the repertoire. And I fell in love with the music. At this point, I think I have every Bob Marley album. I read the book. I got the movie still, the Marley movie, PVR in my system at home. Just love Bob Marley. A lot of my background, gospel and stuff relates. It's really intertwined in Jamaican gospel sort of
soul to it.
The guy that our guitar player plays with did one drop.
Quintino.
No, from Jamaica. Toots.
Oh, okay. I would have guessed that.
Toots and Toots.
Okay.
So Toots has a very gospel-like singing style. Even though he's a Jamaican guy, when I hear him sing, I hear that thing that we did in our church, the gospel tone. And I heard him talking in an interview about how he emulated a lot of singers in America, like a lot of cats. But he got that really gospel thing. I mentioned it to Carl once. But that's the love of singing, the love of I've got a Donny Hathaway tribute. I do, and he's my idol. So Dave Young, who played bass for Oscar Peterson for years, approached me about 7 years ago about doing a gospel thing. And I said, I wouldn't mind doing it, but you need to check out Donny Hathaway. So I brought him a bunch of Donny Hathaway stuff. And we since then put together this Donny Hathaway tribute, and it's about 20, 30 songs. And we play it maybe 4 times a year, 3 times a year, not that often, but it's my favorite music. And it's the toughest music that I have to sing.
Now, why is it the tougher music you have to sing? And the second question real quickly is, hip hop has changed from this to this. Is that the same transformation that happened with soul, the type of music you were singing R&B in '69 to this modern day?
Yeah, but you know what? I find, a lot of it's coming back to the R&B sound in order to keep it viable. Because what you found with some of the hip hop, when it started going down to South, from South, the music just started dissipating. There was no more music,
watering down.
Just sort of beats and sort of hisses and stuff. A lot of messing around with trying to get girls to dance and stuff.
You're not going to write the lyrics in the album because
right.
you know what I'm saying.
There's no lyrics. There's no story. And basically, music from my generation always told stories. Like there was always a cat that could pick up a guitar and sit down there and play. And
I agree with that. In the whole generation, all genres, country or whatnot, there was a story to tell, and it was the perspective of the person singing it. So if you had a poor life or a happy life or whatever your life was about, it was still a story. Let me tell you about my story. But modern day, I would agree to listen to it. Be like, hey, what's the story? What is he talking about? Is he happy? Is he sad? I don't know. And so when you make your songs, I'm getting to the album, this man has an album coming out. When you made your album, how did you infiltrate the kind of emotions that you need to make a good soulful album? Like, what were some of the things, songwriting,
life experiences? Marvin Gaye always said, be autobiographical when you write. So in other words, write from experience. So you write from, it might be the song is called this, but you take the experience that you've had with your lady or something, and you intertwine that feeling and that emotion into the lyric, so you're actually speaking about that person. And it becomes more real, more realistic, where people can actually relate. Because if it's coming from you and it's real, someone else has had the same experience. So to write off the top of your head and say, well, I'm just gonna write about love, and I'm 12 years old, well, that ain't really making it, because how many experiences has this cat had? So someone that's seasoned and has sang so many songs about love, say like myself. You can sing a song about love. So if I can write a song about love, it's a no-brainer. You know what I mean? Like I kind of know how to put that emotion and where it's supposed to actually come from. And actually becoming an even better writer as far as love is concerned is when you've been hurt. When you've been hurt, the emotion is deeper. The words have more meaning because now you have to explain how you feel.
Processing.
You have to explain how you feel through this lyrical process. And once you've got it down, they go, oh, I got it. I got it out. But then other people, oh yeah, that's my story too.
Tell us about your album.
My album is it's called Spotlight with Crack of Dawn. It's coming out. Actually, it's being mixed, being sent to New York next day or so via electronically being downloaded and sent out that way. And it's being mixed by David, I told you yesterday.
I was going to say Chappelle.
Dave Darlington, who mixed Whitney and Sting and George Benson. He's Quincy Jones. He's the Cat's Meow in New York. So Crack of Dawn is a band that was signed, was the first black band ever signed to a major label in Canada 30 years ago.
I've never heard of Crack of Dawn.
Oh,
something
yeah.
I'm going to research.
Research
I like
Crack of
being
Dawn.
down with music.
Glenn Ricketts was the lead singer. Glenn Lewis, have you ever heard of Glenn Lewis?
Yes, I have.
Glenn Lewis is Glenn Ricketts' son. He has since had a career in music here, and he's from here, of course. So Glenn, when I first came to Canada, Crack of Dawn was just signing their first recording contract because I was practicing right next door to them with my band Future Shock. I'm practicing over here. Crack of Dawn's practicing over here. It was at Eglinton and Oakwood.
Okay.
In the music store, we practiced in the basement. And so Glenn is singing, I'm hearing this guy sing, and he sounded like me. And I'm singing, and he's hearing me, and he's feeling the same way. So I walk over and I meet these guys, and they're called Crack of Dawn. And I was practicing to go on road to play nightclubs. They were practicing to go on road, play stadiums and stuff like that, and to do the big thing because they had signed a major record deal. So that lasted, I don't know how long it lasted, whatever, it dissolved. But that was a band I've always wanted to sing with, Crack of Dawn, because they were great. They were like really good, way better than the band I was in. And they were on their way. About 5 years ago, I got a phone call. Do I want to sing with Crack of Dawn? They're reforming. I said, yeah. And Glenn, the original singer, was actually going to be doing it again. He had some immigration problems. So he's back in Jamaica. So he got shipped back to Jamaica. I got called in. I did a couple jobs with them, and then I started writing songs. Because they do nothing but originals. They're not a club band. We're getting together to promote this album from the UK back to Toronto, and then do what we can do from there. But basically, I got with the band and started writing songs and getting together with the guys rehearsing. So I wrote about maybe half the album, like 5 or 6 songs on the album. There's only 10 on the album, so I wrote these 5 songs. I wrote Spotlight. I even wrote a theme song for the band. The band's called Crack of Dawn, and I wrote a song called Crack of Dawn, which will probably be a single. It was a really nice up-tempo kind of thing. The band's real nice, kind of an Earth, Wind and Fire kind of band. You know, a lot of vocals, a lot of positive energy, some good songwriting.
Okay.
No
kidding.
I can't wait.
So last question, I know you're getting ready, it's getting a little loud. What can you say to the inspiring R&B singers? Because when you have hip hop, you have underground hip hop, you have a lot of areas you can go, and I think I would say, not being in the business, there's a little bit more support with the hip hop genre, right? Because it's how popular per se. Where can they go to congregate? Number one, and how do you master your craft and singing?
I tell you, here's what you do. You got to do your homework. You got to take your history back further than Snoop Dogg, because it goes further back than that.
with Snoop's case, he sampled the Parliament and James Brown, and people think that's where music started. Like what he did on his records and the music that you heard, they thought, well, that was all created by Snoop Dogg. Well, no, it was a bunch of samples that Dre did from James and
including
Parliament.
myself, because when I was growing up, Snoop Dogg came down, there was a lot of samples like, oh my god. And then when satellite radio came out, I'm like, oh, that's where you got it from. Or
Absolutely.
You somewhere else.
So
Like,
my-
that's where you got it
my-
from. Now I love that song.
Do your homework, research the original artists, and then you get a better understanding of where it's come from. Your creativity be even better because now you say, okay, this is how they really did it. This is not a piece of it. This is the whole deal. You know, this is the real deal.
Well, that's it. Anything you want to say to my friends?
Hey, look out for Crack of Dawn. Look out for April 22nd at the Sony Center, the Legends of Motown. I'm doing that as well.
Okay, tell them.
Legends of Motown, April 22nd, Sony Center. It's a nice tribute to the best out of Motown, the Temptations, Four Tops, Stevie Wonder, the Supremes, the Marvinettes, it's all that.
Noisy.
April 22nd.
Where can they find you?
They can find me there, of course.
Okay.
And you can also find me at the Reservoir Lounge every Friday with Dee Dee and the Martinis.
Yes, Reservoir Lounge.
Every Friday.
All right, take care, party people.
All right.
All right.
We out.